Guys, today many applications are using bearings. So many kinds of bearings are available in market, and different applications using different types of bearings. Almost vehicles, almost stationary products with some moving parts, aircrafts, and many using bearings. Commonly, we can see this kind of bearings, and commonly mainly using ball for frictionless action. This kind of taper type bearing is mostly using in vehicles. The main advantage giving more thrust, and these bearings and some using needle bearings and some with bush bearings. The bush bearings, there is no ball or needle, only metal part, and this kind of metal bearings in different applications, commonly in engine, some starter motors, because that need more torque. When more torque required, that time commonly using shell type of bearing or bush bearing. Bearings also different purpose, different types. Nowadays magnetic bearings are using, fluid bearings using a support of fluid and fluid coupling, and other thing in magnetic using a frictionless magnetic power. So new models, new innovations are giving different types of bearings, and that you can see in any videos in YouTube. Now only I am telling you the bearing and the easy finding of bearing faults. If a damaged bearing give overheat, if you are expert into touch and feel the extreme hot means bearing fault. The other thing, there is a too much play for a flight or a vehicle or a train or any machinery. You feeling more wobbling in the system means bearing fault. One more thing, most bearings if damaged that give a heavy noise. An expert can find out that noise and easily to trace the fault. I think you got the point of how to check the bearing. And one more thing, short time and short sentence I am using for this class. This for only few understanding, not a full details of bearing. And the main needs of bearing is frictionless action and bearing increase speed more than we expect. An example, if without a bearing you use a small toy car, that will not move much longer distance. But if you fix a bearing and you just to push, that will run more distance. That is the main advantage, giving more traveling distance or more rotation, and that is frictionless, and that give a long run also. For a bush bearing, we purposely need to fill oil and put in a long period, then we need to fix it. But in a metal needle or ball bearing, some with seal and grease, or we need to put grease, and we packed and fill it. And how to remove bearings and how to fix it, that also you can see in YouTube in many videos. Let me to stop.